Okay, hello everyone.
I hate it, honestly. It's just too bulky.
Okay, so I'm just
Like, it
going to walk
takes
through the
forever
general
to...
stuff that was listed on the flyer, and then I will open it up to questions because I'm sure you guys have a lot. So hello, my name is Jenna. I'm the president of Swift. Do you guys know what Swift is? Who here knows what Swift is? Raise your hand. You guys don't count. Okay, so Swift is one of the 3 CIS clubs in the CDA college. And so we are actually running HackPoly from now. So it used to be Poly Founders. If you guys are familiar with HackPoly, that was like the 24-hour hackathon that happened in the DSC. That didn't happen this year for logistical reasons, but it will happen next year. So this is kind of like that, but instead of having like 24 hours to do it, you have like 30 days. So if you read the email, then you probably have a gist of what's going on. So what Boeing wants you guys to make is on a phone, either Android or Apple, it's up to you guys. You're going to make it an app that can scan a part. They're going to provide the part that you're going to scan, as well as the digital file. So it's, I believe in IGIS or a step file. You guys can look into that. So you're going to use the phone. You're going to scan the object, and you're going to tell, hopefully you'll be able to tell Boeing what the coordinates of the object are and what part the object is. And then so prizes, I'm sure this is the best part for you guys. So there are 3 prizes. The winning team will get $1,000. First runner-up $500. Second runner-up $250. Prizes will be distributed to your team leader, and you guys can spread that out however you feel like. So there aren't many rules. You just have to be a student at Cal Poly, and your team has to have a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5, no more, no less. And then this is our general timeline. So you're at the info session. That's cool. If someone you know is interested but they're not here, it's fine. You can either pass along the information to them, or they can email me and I'll answer any questions you have. And then registration actually closes next Monday at midnight. But if you email me early in the morning on Tuesday, that's also fine. And then the competition will officially begin on the 18th. So we actually do not get the technical requirements from Boeing until Monday. So I hopefully will be able to answer any questions you may have today, but it's kind of just based on what I know. And then from that point, you will have about 4 weeks to create the app. And then on Saturday, April 20th is the final day of the competition. Your entire team will have to be present here in the CDA for us. Well, I'm not going to judge it, for Boeing to judge your product. So April 20th is actually our conference tech symposium, so there's a bunch of other stuff going on, but you don't have to come for that if you don't want to. But your entire team does need to be present. So if you want to register, you just email me all of this information. So for every single person on your team, I need their first name and last name, their CPP email, and their Bronco ID. So I need your Bronco ID because we are actually going to give you guys access to one of the breakout rooms here in the CDA. So Boeing is sending us a 3D printed card that they created, and that's what you guys will be scanning, and that will be left here in the CDA for you guys to scan at any point. And you have to get all of this information to me by about March 18th. And you also you have to tell me who the team lead is. So that's kind of it for the general information. I assume you guys have a lot of questions. If you walked in late and you missed something, you can just talk to me after. But I'm going to open it up to questions right now.
So are they giving us some class to work with freehand? I have no idea how to image processing would work. I know there's...
So I imagine that would be part of the technical requirements. They haven't told us anything. So like I said earlier, this is a little bit of a tangent off your question. You can program either using an Apple device or an Android device, and we will be providing the devices for you. You just have to tell us which one you're using. So if you're going to use Android, you tell us that. If you're going to program in for Apple, you can tell us that. But I don't know if they're going to give you anything to start off of.
Are you using mobile?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're going to be using a phone. You're going to be using the camera on the phone.
When you say the coordinates of the part, what is it relative to, like, on the aircraft? Or?
I believe so.
They might just specify origin.
Like basically, what the goal of this is they want to create something where, say, an engineer can pull out their phone and look at a part on an aircraft, and basically have you tell it where on the aircraft that is, so that they can replace it or tell us something's damaged or something like that, really easily and quickly. So you could say like you could come up with some sort of like grid system. You could say, you know, it's on the left wing or on this part of the fuselage. It really, I don't think there's any specific requirements on what type of coordinate system you use to tell where it is.
So the application
Dr.
will scan the airplane and look for a part, or
Yes, but
the whole airplane?
no, we are being
So that's the goal of the
provided a
application.
3D printed
But yeah,
part.
they're gonna give you guys a certain part that's probably about this big, I think. and
3
then
feet
you're
by
gonna
2
get-
feet by 1 foot. So just one point. Only one.
So it's actually,
What's the input and what's the output of the application?
The input is that you,
Of what is given as a result, what information is required as a result of?
Can I jump in? The input is that this part, and it's not a single part, it's a bunch of interconnected pieces. So Boeing has manufactured it, and it resembles in many ways a part of a wing, but they didn't want to use anything classified that was a problem or anything. So it's a 3D printed component that's similar to what a wing assembly would be. It's 3 foot by 2 foot by 1 foot, and the idea at the end is they will come in and just put several stickers on it. On the outside, on the inside of components, etc. They'll put several stickers, and they're looking for you to give them, so somebody walks along in the video, there's a sticker right there, touch it. That should identify the points that you decide on an origin point, like in the bottom corner or whatever. You're not worrying about a whole plane here. That's the eventual application. Right now, it's just looking at like the corner of this one part that's 3 foot by 2 foot by 1 foot. You touch a spot on that where they stuck a sticker, that should identify in 3 space where that is. So from the reference point, if the reference point might be the back side of that, piece, so it's, foot over. So this might be a foot this way and a foot this way and a, 6 inches up. But it has to identify that point in 3 space, and it needs to identify what part that is. So if that sticker is on part J2, then you've got to be able to identify, here's the location, and that's part J2.
You mean they're touching on the screen? Or?
They are going to put stickers on the actual assembly.
Yeah, but by touching?
By touching, you'll put your finger on the screen. Yeah, you'll be doing a video, and you'll touch the screen where that sticker is, and it's how closely can you assess where that exact point is and on what part is that sticker affixed.
On what part?
Right, because it's a whole bunch of separate pieces assembled together. And so there's many different panels that make up the sides and make up interconnections between the sides and whatnot. And you've got to be, they all have different names, J1, J5, whatnot. And so you've got to be able to say, in 3 space coordinates, here's the location. And that happens to be part number, whatever, the part number that is.
So we have to have a database with some parts
Right.
and pick one of them.
Right, that database of parts will make that available on a website. And so you have this the database of parts and whatnot, and then you have the object. And so when you touch something, it's got to get the coordinates and identify the part that was sitting on.
Then I'm not quite clear what coordinates you mean. Coordinates of what?
The coordinates,
What's the origin of those coordinates?
you pick the origin, but the origin is probably going to be like the bottom corner or something like that. And so
What?
of this item, it's 3 feet long. It's going to resemble the wing of an aircraft. It's 3 feet by 2 feet by 1 foot. And they're going to come put some stickers on that, on the outside, on the inside, etc. And then you go along and you hit hit a button wherever that sticker is. Then if the bottom corner over here is the origin point, then you've got to then determine, over here it's X, Y, Z, such and such, to where that location of that sticker is. You've got to, be able to identify that location, and then also identify upon what part is that location sitting.
It's always referenced to that part, the 3 by 1 by 2, whatever.
This entire competition is based just on
So
that.
we're always
Eventually, this application is going to grow out, and they're going to look at a whole airplane and identify where
Our
it's at.
scope is just that, so our coordinates will only be looking at that, like.
Right, that one
So
3
wherever
by
the board-
2 by 1 foot
Okay.
component.
That makes
And
sense.
it's 2-sided. Some of them might be in the middle, so you got to put your camera in the middle and inside of it, take a picture, things like that.
And then what you just said, so you could get like partial, correct, like You know what I mean? Like, not partial credit, but imagine the one in the middle doesn't work, but the others do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't know that anybody's going to get everything absolutely perfectly,
Okay.
but it's going to be who has the most, and they will be providing the rubric that will identify, we're going to give so many points to finding location for sticker 1, so many points for location sticker 2, location sticker 3, then part, correctly identifying the part on number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. So, they will be Boeing people who will come do that judging at the final event.
And off of what you just said, another question, we will have the coordinates beforehand? Like on Monday, they'll give us the coordinates that we would have to look for, like where the stickers would be, or not?
We will ask them that. I do believe it has to be a common coordinate, and we were supposed to have a conversation about that 2 days ago, and my fault that call got blown up. And so we'll be getting that information between now and Monday. But Mike, I believe that they are going to identify a particular corner so that everybody's solution should have a common reference point so that they can, and they're going to know, they expect that to come out to be 157 or whatever, whatever those coordinates to be.
For the actual part that they gave us, when would that become available to start working on? On Monday too?
They've sent a first set of pieces, and that has arrived already. Have you seen anything that they've sent the full piece yet?
I've not heard anything about that.
So I believe we'll be receiving it anytime. When we talked to them a week ago, they said they were probably a week out from having it done. But they were going to send these initial parts that could start with, and then start playing with those and whatnot. It's going to be one component off there. So one of the components from that whole assembly, you're going to be able to take with you, use it for that whole month. The whole assembly is going to be in a locked room here, but then each team will have card swipe so that they can get in and work with it and whatnot.
The database you said it will be provided like on a website or something like that?
Yeah, so Boeing is going to provide that database for us, and we will make it available to you. If you are your team, I'll email it to you, but we're also just going to put all the information, all the questions, all of that stuff on a website so you guys have access to it at all times. So if someone asks a question, we can post it on there, so that way maybe if you guys end up having that same question, you can just look it up. We haven't developed it yet, but it would just be like a general website about details about the competition, all the files we have, any questions we get, we'll post our responses to them there. And then I'll send that out to you guys once that's up and running.
So the next thing that we'll do is we'll email you with that information, and then I guess we'll wait for another email from you?
So you can email me this information, and then you can probably get started in terms of like looking into what device you want, well maybe not what device, but just which language you're going to choose to code in, as well as like maybe just kind of getting started with everything. So you could technically get started today, but we won't have technical requirements until about next Monday, next Tuesday. So this coming Monday.
And the bookstore is procuring the devices, the Android devices that will be used, and those should be available.
Are we only doing Android devices?
That's all we've looked at so far. Mainly we looked at that because there are a number of colleges have courses on Android programming, and we don't know of any that have iOS programming, so we thought that Android would probably be a better fit.
So what are we supposed to get in the bookstore?
Nothing.
The bookstore will provide it to us, and we'll provide them to you, but they'll be like cell phones, like Android type cell phones, for the competition that you'll use.
Yeah, each team will get a phone to use.
And each team will keep that through the whole month of the competition and whatnot, and you use that so that way everybody has the same device essentially.
If we have questions further on about the competition at some point, can we use that email to ask questions, or is there like?
Yeah, you can just email me, and then I'll just pass it along to Boeing. One of the things we wanted to do is actually have weekly meetings, because I obviously don't know what the Boeing people want. So hopefully we can get that sorted out. So if you do have more technical questions, you can ask the people at Boeing, and they will probably be able to give you a better response. But that's TBD.
Right. The hope is that once every week there will be a common video meeting, like Zoom video meeting, and the Boeing engineers will be on that, and also any of the teams can connect. So that way you don't have to play the telephone game of sending an email to somebody sends an email and whatnot. You can actually, because some of those questions really require them to say, what are you talking about? And it takes a dialogue. So that's the intent.
Other questions?
for getting the Android thing you provide, and I guess key cards maybe too. How are you guys going to decide to distribute those? Will you just come like next?
So each team will just get one device, and in terms of key card access, it's just your Bronco ID. That's why I'm asking for your Bronco ID. So we pass it along to someone in the CBA, and once that's ready to go, you guys will be able to swipe into one of the rooms here. And I believe the hours on that are 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Building is 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
So you guys are able to swipe in any time during that.
Can you go ahead and, I just want to make sure on that one part that it's clear that you need to have the name of every single one of the members, not just the name of, the team lead. Each team has to be 3 to 5 people, and you need the name of each one of them. But it actually would really be a help also if we could put in the Bronco name. Because actually when we key it into the system, it's the Bronco name that, basically the first part of our email address, that's what actually has to be keyed in. Like the
Bronco name of each member of the thing, or just the leader of the?
I think we've talked about having it be the lead that we
You just want to give the
do the card swipe, or I think does that make sense, or does it make sense just to everybody? I think let's do everyone. So but that way we need the names and that. I think Bronco ID number is important to have. We will need that. But if we put the Bronco name as well, that'll be helpful because that way the person who keys all this in, that's how you actually key it in by you type in that Bronco name when you put them into that.
Just ask for their email since we're already asking for it? Or do you?
Yeah, as long as that is your Bronco email.
So your username.
Okay, you have CPP email.
Yeah, what you use to log into like Blackboard, it should be the same as the first part of your
Yeah.
email. If it's not, please type it. I don't know why would it be. But that's just so that you guys can have card access to the room so you can scan in and like test your app basically at any time between now and the last day of the competition.
My team currently has 3 members. When is the deadline for submitting the email to you? We might possibly add 2 more.
Monday.
Monday?
So if you're okay with not having card access, you can probably email me on Tuesday. But if you want everyone in your team to have card access, I need email by Monday evening or very, very early Tuesday morning because that's when I'm going to send the final list of all the information.
Okay.
So do you essentially want the same exact email from each member of the team? Like we're all going to put every person's name, CPP? Yeah, right?
Yeah, so all of your individual information. If you have 3 members, I'm expecting 3 names, 3 emails, and 3 Bronco IDs.
Do you know if the room with the equipment would be open on weekends? I don't know how this all hours work.
I believe it is.
Saturdays, this building is open, I know. There are classes that happen in this building on Saturdays. I don't know what the hours are. I think they're somewhat limited, maybe 9 to 5 or something. We can look into that. But
If you have card access and the building's open, you can just swipe it.
Yes, yes.
as long as the building's, they get in the building, you'll be able to get in the room because that's what it's going to be tied to.
Okay, so that's about it. If you walked in late and you have any questions, you just don't ask me. That's where you can talk to me. So if you have any questions or anything, you can email me here. And then I need all your information by Monday, and then I will pass that along. If for some reason you are great at programming on iOS and you really want an iPhone, please let me know as soon as possible so we can get that working for you.
We're not against the idea, but we just didn't know any classes, so we didn't know if anybody would have that. I would also just throw out that the final event, I think you talked about that. That'll be at Tech Symposium, and it'll be a handful of Boeing people here, and they'll have 1 or 2 leadership people here. They'll have a couple of recruiters here, and then at least one of the engineers that is doing the judging. So it is a good place to, if you have any interest in working with Boeing, it's a good opportunity to get some face time with them, and so that they know your name, and also to recognize that this is going to be tied to a product someday. And so they are looking for people who would be that team that would build that product. And so this is in many ways you can look at it as a job interview. But because in the end, this will be something where there will be cameras down the sides of runways. They'll be snapping pictures of every plane that goes by. But if you do have an interest in job type stuff, I think it's a great opportunity there. And you will have the opportunity to get in front of people. So when the final presentation happens, I think whatever you would want to do to show off well in a job interview, you probably want to do when you show up to this event.
So if you have any questions about this, Tech Symposiums with life, ask me. No promises,